I appreciate it, because that's the greatest compliment someone can pay you, but the biggest thing what we need is people who are willing to take that heat, to take the slings and arrows each and every day. And until we have that bench, Trump is our guy, in my opinion, right? Like, until... this morning, on my way over here, okay? Kevin McCarthy actually talking about Axios. When they take back over power, they are going to do to the Democrats what the Democrats have done to us for the last 5 years. We should have started doing this back in 16, okay? But guys, it's better late than never. I know Kevin, and I know he's doing these things, and I get it. No. Hey, sometimes, like I said, working in those systems isn't as easy as you think it is, right? It was hard for my father, because you want to come in and you want to say, hey, I'm going to be the bulldozer, but you got 500 people and their 10,000 donors all working against you. But when you understand it now, when you see it, that's important, guys, because I want to have that progress. If we're playing that same game, right, both hardball, we win.
10
okay?
тысяч
Think about it.
собрались без каких-либо ограничений.
Because there's no way that our elections, even as they are, should be as close as they are. Let me explain. Right? So you're still within, rounding error, margin of error, 50. What do they have on their side? They have big tech, $1 trillion institution. Right? They have mainstream media. Another, probably $1 trillion institution. And they got social media, which we all use. Another $1 trillion institution. That's their marketing department. We're up against $3 trillion institutions, and it's still close. You know why? Because their ideas suck. With multiple $1 trillion institutions defending you and working as your marketing department, it's easy to get some of those things through. But the problem is they've gone too far. People watched America burn. And we're told it was peaceful protest. We're told to not believe our lying eyes. Don't believe what you see. We're going to tell you, I remember at one of the rallies, I think it was Wisconsin, or the riots, they're going nuts. There's a reporter, it's mostly peaceful protesters. There's a building burning in the background and he gets hit in the head with a brick on air. I'm like, I don't know, I don't see it. Right, you see the nonsense as it relates to Kyle Rittenhouse? You see, we got a little justice for Juicy. I take a little bit of extra, let's call it schadenfreude, sort of, when you take a little bit of joy in someone else's misery. I don't like to do that often. I don't do it at all. I'll make an exception for Juicy. Because he spent so much time, and also because I took a little bit of a risk on that one, right? Remember, consequences if you're us. No consequence for being like, it totally happened, it's really believable. We hate every conservative who could question, right? I was the first sort of blue checkmark Twitter to be like, hey guys, I don't know about you, but this does not add up. I did that on the second day, the day after it, I think it was. I did this thing, I was thrown off social media, they wrote all sorts of articles about me, I'm preaching hate, I'm like, I'm not preaching hate. It just, no one's this stupid. But I was wrong. Jesse was that stupid. But he was only that stupid because he was so used taking his side. As long as you went against us, it didn't matter. You could get away with whatever you want, right? That I don't see anyone thrown off of social media or fact check for the tweet saying it definitely happened and how terrible Trump supporters are. I go, what do you think the odds are of a Trump supporter surviving the streets of downtown Chicago at 2 a.m. in MAGA gear? I don't know, guys. Not too good. I set the over-under at about 15 seconds of life. But it didn't matter. So that's why, guys, there is some common sense prevailing. There are people tuning in that haven't been paying attention. Those same people who just said, hey, I just want to work hard to feed my family, put plate on the table, put my kids through school, try to get them a good education where they're not being indoctrinated with the garbage we see here every day. Just want to do that. They're listening to a little bit of news in the background, and they assume it's at least somewhat real. They're waking up. They see it now. Bill Ackman. This is a good example during the Rittenhouse trial. Bill Ackman, billionaire New York hedge fund guy. He watched. He's like a Bolshevik. I mean, he's left of all the crazies. Funded most of them for years. Billionaire hedge fund guy from New York City. He started tweeting during the Rittenhouse trial. He said, I'm watching this with my wife, and it's so different than everything I've been told. I'm trying to figure out how Kyle Rittenhouse is a white supremacist after shooting 3 white guys. No, he did it seriously. It was like a well-articulated tweet thread. He then goes on to say, I had no idea that the people that they were making into heroes were actual pedophiles. I mean, I don't know, you'd think you wouldn't, doesn't mean they maybe deserve to get shot. But if someone's gonna get shot, it might as well be a pedophile. I would never condone. I'm not going to disclaim that one. It is what it is. Run with it, you jerks. True story. But he's sitting there and he's doing this tweet thread. He goes, listen, I've been been reported about in the financial news for decades, and I read it and I'm laughing about how ill-informed it is and how many lies there are and how much nonsense it is. Because I'm in the deal. I know exactly what's going on, and what they're writing is nonsense. But then I turn the page, and I read another article on something that I am not a subject matter expert on, and I assume that it is accurate. And I've been assuming that for 30 years. But what I should probably have been assuming is that it is just as bad as the drivel that I've been reading in the financial side, where I do know what's going on. So he puts out this tweet thread, and the New York Times calls him, sir, did someone hack your phone? Did someone hack your Twitter account? He goes, if you're on that side, you cannot break from the talking points. You cannot break from the norm. You cannot challenge the narrative. No matter how insane, no matter how ridiculous, you must obey. And that's what brought you Trump, folks, which is why we need guys who will not simply go along, who will challenge it. So when I see an article about the Republicans saying they're going to do that, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to make sure that I'm out there every day holding them to task. Because if they don't, we're going to be loud about it, right? We don't need more Mitt Romneys. Involved, stay in the game, help those who are actual fighters. And I just want to thank all of you for being here, guys. You're just an awesome crowd. Keep doing what you're doing. As I said, you guys are the front